Okay, guys, let me know if there's an echo in this one. Hopefully not. So we're live. But let me know. What the heck? Okay. All right. I think we're good. I don't hear an echo. I'm listening to the YouTube one overall. I don't see anybody else in the chat now. I think I scared everybody off. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the crypto market. Hey, Ross, good to see you again. Let me know if there's an echo. If there is, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But if there's not an echo, then we can go. We're good to go. That's what happens with these live streams. I can't, I like making regular videos. I'm probably going to make a video in the next day or so. No echo. Man, we are golden then. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. I think I've got this connected with a few things. Yeah, it's actually on Twitter as well. On the other. It sounds perfect. Man, you guys are so kind. All right. We're going to get it rolling here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And so today we're going to talk about, what happened. And so as you know, the market crashed in crypto. Massive wipeout. I hope that everybody here is doing well. I hope that you guys, I think everybody took a loss. I took some losses. I can go ahead and talk to you about that. But let me go ahead and talk to you about, my thoughts, where I think we go from here. And just really getting down to it. And it was a hard day for a lot of people. And maybe some of you, you're not leverage traders. You don't, you only trade spot, you only trade on chain. And that's, you still wiped out quite a bit as far as where you were at here just 48 hours ago. But let's go ahead and talk about, let me go ahead and find something really fast. And we'll get to it. Okay. So, all right, let me go ahead and figure this out. This is a new streaming This is a new streaming platform here. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this right here. We'll get started. Man, yeah, there's issues, but you know what? Is there freezing right here? Bro. All right. We doing okay? Can you guys see stuff still? All right. I'm getting an error message on YouTube. So, okay, nobody's saying anything in the chat, so I think we're good to go. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and make this. It freeze, but it's good now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and if it freezes again, I'm sorry. But with that said, I have no clue what's going down. And, heck, I don't care anymore. We're going to go ahead and go. I don't have all night for this, and, maybe I'll find a better platform to use. I'm just trying different platforms to stream off of. So this is Streamlabs, and apparently it's not doing very well with YouTube. All right, let's go ahead. With that said, Trump, big news, 100% tariff on China imports. That, of course, perhaps led to the cascade that we saw in the markets. Naturally, we were overextended. Naturally, there was a lot of open interest on the markets. People were over leveraged. If you don't know what that means, over leveraged. And there needed to be a correction. This is what we use as an excuse for the correction, okay? So the biggest wipeout that we've ever seen in crypto, if you haven't yet seen this, you can actually go over to CoinGlass. They have liquidation data. Really, really breathtaking. If you take a look at the candle of around $30 billion. Now, of course, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see $30 billion on the on this. You're going to see closer to 10 billion or so. Some people are saying more than that. But you have to take in that there were a lot of unaccounted positions also. And so I do love this posting here. And the 10 billion liquidation figure floating around is fake, right? So the real number actually could be around 30 to 40 billion dollars. And on Hyperliquid alone, it was nearly 7 billion that was liquidated. All right? And so total liquidations, they break it down everywhere from the total value, from the backstops of the market, from Bitcoin. And so really, really breaking it down. And CoinGlass, they switched to 20 billion. But that's just not the full picture, okay? And so we're seeing a lot of stuff between $30 to $40 billion overall. And as we know, that is by far the largest notational as far as liquidation that we've ever seen in the market. And, a big reason for that is because more people now than ever are trading on leverage platforms. And there's nothing wrong with that. I trade on leverage. I was actually liquidated from multiple positions yesterday as well. I did, and I was actually on 2x, 2 to 3x, which means typically the market has to pull back 50%. If you're long, 50% in order for those two positions to be margin call liquidated and for me to basically lose my money. And so, it wasn't a lot. I mean, I those positions that I actually had, I have mainly spot. As you guys know, I trade a lot of spot. And if I do get into positions that are long or short, they are typically short-lived. I don't like to sleep on a lot of positions. And because of that, it did save me. But I was trying to farm some points like on Aster, on Lighter. And so because of that, I did have some longs open and they were liquidated. And basically, I mean, it's really crazy because if you are in a 2x, if your margin was, if you 2x leverage, people are shocked that they got liquidated, right? Which it really is shocking because rarely do you ever consider that you're at any risk if you're only at 2x leverage. And, when you have a cascade like that, and two, you can even put stops in, there is still the chance to have you liquidated. So, with that said, a lot of people lost 30 billion to 40 billion in liquidations. And, I want people to be encouraged. I did already have people reach out to me. I've had questions from people who ask, is this over? I've had questions from people that have stated that they just want to wrap it up, and I totally understand that because when it comes to being in crypto, I've been here, man. I've been here since 2016, 2017, back when the BitMEX days and Bybit, and of course, when Bybit and FTX was taken off, we had COVID crash, and man, I got liquidated in some positions there too, and it was crazy. It was crazy, man. And so we've seen people lose everything and come back. And so basically, what I want to say is I want you to be encouraged. And people ask, is it over? I don't think it's over. We can go ahead and take a look at the chart in a minute. But as you know, we have had several crashes over the years. People can say more. Some people want to argue, and I hate that, man. I hate that people want to argue that this wasn't a crash, man. And Bitcoin only pulled back, 10-15%. Guys, 30 to 40 billion dollars is gone. Okay, that's a crash. That's a crash. Okay, I don't care about what Bitcoin is doing. I mean, it's bullish on Bitcoin, if anything. But your altcoins, some of these basically went to zero. If you want to go ahead and look, we can take a look at this chart right here. Here's a chart of Atom that went from $4 to 0.001. It went to zero. Okay, it went to zero on Binance. We know that. And so if you had any type of leverage on that whatsoever, you totally got wiped. And even if you had spot positions open on that, I mean, you're down massively. Now, I haven't checked the price for today, but technically, man, yeah, man, you're not safe. You weren't safe if you're on these centralized exchanges. And so the crazy part about that is that actually these DEXs held up way better than centralized exchanges. And so if anything, that goes to show you that it's quite bullish for Hyperliquid, Aster, et cetera, going forward. But I'm just saying overall, don't argue if it was a crash. Don't try to be technical about things because a lot of people got wiped out. Have some empathy for people and understand that this was really bad, okay, compared to even COVID. With that said, now, if we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, all right, it's floating above the previous support level, okay? So if I were to go ahead and zoom in here, Bitcoin went down to around 106, 107. This is on Coinbase. Down on Binance, it actually hit as low as 100K, okay? So depending on which exchange you're on, if you're trading, most of you are holding spot, but just understand that it went a lot lower on different exchanges. But great buying opportunities if you have limit buys in there, right? So limit orders in. But with that said, we are floating right above the support. Now, right now, really, if you want to look at this on a daily standard, this is just basically a higher low, all right? So I just want to sit here and say that I don't think necessarily everything is over yet. You have to wait until the stock market opens up. And why do I say that? Is because if the stock market opens up lower, if it continues to go down, then Bitcoin and crypto is going to pull back down with it. So is this pullback over? Not necessarily. Is this a good buying opportunity? Well, yeah, I think with that said, when Bitcoin's down 15%, sitting right above a support level, kind of bouncing off that overall, with this type of liquidation of 30 to 40 billion dollars overall, an open interest reset. Yeah, I do think technically that this is an opportunity to spot buy, not leverage trade. Yeah, sorry guys, I know mic is a little low. I can't do anything else right now. So turn up the volume a little bit. I will get this fixed in the future live streams. I can't even be on this very long just because my kids have to go to bed. But with that said, sitting at a higher low here, sitting above support here. The big thing is this market structure, is the weekly market structure. Guys, check this out. We're still at a higher low on the weekly as well, okay? This is a good thing. Overall, market structure matters. We can talk about things all day long, but there's a reason why a lot of times when it comes historically to these bull markets, right? These market structures do matter. And so closing above on the weekly, above 107 here, 108 is a really good thing, okay? This is a really good thing. It's not bearish whatsoever, even though we wick down into that. If we can see a weekly close, I believe, above this level, I think we're good. Now, I would even argue too, and I think a lot of people would argue, what if it breaks below that? What if tomorrow, before it closes, Bitcoin heads down, okay? And I think overall, what you can say is previously, we saw this range back in October to February. And remember when the first tariffs came out, that the market really nuked hard from that range. And people were already saying like, well, that was basically, a lot of people weren't even talking about the prior range. Well, it's got to stay above the prior range. Some people were saying, man, it nuked down. This could be it. Like that was it. The tariff news, man, I think it's over. And so you saw the structure break down there. And with this said, again, I don't believe that even if you get a close, I really want to see a close above 107, 108, right? Above that. But again, if we can get a close above 100K, I think just in general, we're going to be okay, at least for now. But the lower it goes on the weekly, the lower it goes overall, it's probably going to take longer to recover. Okay. So we just want to see what TradeFi does. We want to see how stocks react. We want to also see primarily the purpose or the reason or basically the excuse as far as this pullback right here, the big wipeout, was because of the tariffs on China. Now, if Trump backtracks any of that this week, the market's going to bounce hard, okay? So, buy the blood, right? Don't buy the pumps, buy the pullbacks. And this is the perfect opportunity sitting above support. Did I buy a little bit here? Yes, I bought around 108, 109, a little bit of spot, okay? Am I waiting to see how things open up tomorrow in the stock market futures? I am. I'm also waiting to see how the weekly close goes, and I'm also waiting to see how Monday plays out on the stock market. Now, if the crypto will continue to pull back, as I said, if the stock market pulls back. Now, here's the stock market right here. Guys, this is important, okay? So overall, this is the biggest candle that we've seen since back during the tariff news, okay? The stock market has not seen a one-day candle like that since back in April 4th. That is the largest candle. It absolutely nuked. Now, this is what I have to say, though. Depending on how things go, we could actually see the market open lower. And if that's said, if it opens lower, whatever, crypto could continue to go lower as well, too. So one place that I'm watching, right, is just really seeing maybe the previous range here. And you're going to notice that basically it closed right at the top of this range, right? I mean, we can say what we want, whatever people want. Let me look at the weekly here. Yeah, these are a little crooked, but it doesn't matter. You guys get the picture. But with that said, yeah, I want to see how things do. And yes, stock market continue to pull back. I think after a nuke like that, if Trump continues to push on the tariffs of China, talks bad about China, talks about how they're bad business partners, and says stuff that he said on Friday, then yeah, it'll continue to probably pull back a little bit. But I think the worst is over, right? I mean, as far as altcoins go, being totally wiped out like that, the worst is over, all right? The worst is over, unless this is the start of a bear market, which I don't believe that it is. Again, if the stock market can bounce here, then Bitcoin, again, is at a major support level. And if you want to go ahead and argue all day long, again, one of the major factors or one of the major indicators that people have looked at, right, have been the EMAs. And you can't see this very well, but basically this orange line here, okay? This orange line is the 50 moving average on the weekly, and it has actually signaled the bottom every time since back in 2023. So with that holding, again, that's down at this prior support or the bottom support level at around 100K, 99, 100K. And can price get back down there? It can. I do expect it to at least bounce there. And so really what we're waiting to see is how the stock market opens up, okay, Sunday night, how things close, and how stocks go on Monday, and what Trump says. So you really need to pay attention to a couple of things. You need to pay attention to that, and you need to pay attention to Trump. If you don't have updates on, say, Trump's on Truth Social, if you can't see up to the minute from what Trump is saying over there, you may want to do that. You may want to have access. I think there's even a Twitter page that gives updates, a bot that gives up to minute updates on what Trump is saying over there. So look for that. And so you want to keep up to see what he's saying. You want to keep up with what he's saying in the media, what he's saying on TV. And so wherever he's at, I have no clue. But if he continues to push on that, you can expect to see potentially a little bit more of a pullback. And so that's really what we're looking for. Okay, we don't really know anything yet until that happens. But the whole point being is that a lot of people may say the bottom's in, let's go ahead and buy. Well, put on the brakes a little bit. Let's wait and see what Trump says. Let's wait and see what the stock market says, because you never know. Stocks could pull back on Monday and Tuesday and turn around by Wednesday, Thursday, okay? But I'm just saying that things could go lower. We just want to go ahead and wait and see what they say, okay, what he says. So really, for me, again, would love to see this 107, 108 continue to hold on the weekly. As long as that holds, I think we're in golden shape. If that does not hold, I want to see this 100K level hold, okay? And that's also where the 50 moving average on the weekly is as well, about in that area. I think if that holds, if it gets down there, you want to bid, okay? I'm bidding down there 100% if we break down there. I don't care. I've bid a little bit here, and I want to wait and see. And some people say wait until it breaks higher. Some people are saying, hey, let's wait until it breaks higher above this 117 level. Okay, so I know some people want to wait until it gets up in this area and then see if it holds strength there. I mean, after this massive wipeout, I mean, I don't really want to wait. I mean, I'm going to buy a little bit now if it pulls back a little bit. I mean, what is it? A couple percentage points on your Bitcoin. Now, your altcoins still are going to be quite a liquid. They're hurting quite a bit. So again, one thing that you need to do is go back to fundamentals. What are things, and you may have heard this, what are things that you are really serious about buying and holding, and things that you can get behind fundamentally? Now, maybe that is a meme coin. Maybe it's a type of AI coin. Or maybe it's just Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Zcash. Maybe you're in the privacy thing now. That thing has been so strong. Railgun, some of these other privacy coins have been so strong right now. But I'm just saying, like, get back and, think about things that you are serious about holding that you think are going to be strong here in the coming weeks to months. So if this is not the end of the bull market, there is a big opportunity to have a massive rally. Every time you see the market pull back like this, let's go back all the way to COVID. Okay, let's go back to 2020. Okay, COVID crash. What happened? This is week. Over 3 weeks, we had the COVID crash. Okay, and let me see about the day. Crap. Okay, let me go back here. We had the COVID crash. Okay, and really within one day, we had a massive candle from 8K all the way down to 4,500. Bitcoin crashed 50% almost that day. Okay, that's massive. That's like Bitcoin going from 120 to 70K in one day. Okay, 65, 70K. And so we didn't quite have that type of move, but we had a massive move in altcoins. But open interest, all that reset, which was good. Healthy overall for the market. Not good for people. A lot of people got hurt, but I'm just saying in general for the market, if you're looking at a recovery and looking at a reset, it reset then. We saw COVID crash, and basically, check this out though. People are worried about Bitcoin's just going to take off all of a sudden. Now, unless Trump backtracks what he says, I don't foresee that happening anytime soon, not at least in the next 24 to 48 hours. But if you count here, you had 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days to buy at sub 5K. 7 days. You had a full week after the COVID crash to buy at sub $5,000 before it started to take off and make this rally over the course of the next month or two. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that it's okay if it's okay if you give it a little time, because the COVID crash, we did see back then that it took a week to settle down. People were shaken up. People were shaken up on this tariffs, especially in this market. The market was shaken up. So let's see how it plays out. I'm not going to rush into putting in majority of my money back into the market until I see what the stock market does and until I see what Trump says over the next day or two. Okay? So I'm just saying, no. Did you have the opportunity to buy, sub 4K for 7 days? You didn't, but you had the opportunity to buy sub 5K. Maybe that's equivalent to you having the opportunity to buy sub 112 or sub 110. You may not have an opportunity to buy, 100 or 105K or something like that very long, but the key is knowing that you're still going to get a buy lower than what it should be overall over the course of the coming weeks to months if the market returns and rallies and bounces, okay? In the end, you're just trying to look to make the best return possible at the safest return possible, okay? Trying to catch knives rarely works out. I tried that in COVID. I got stopped out. I think I got liquidated once, not on a very big, not very much capital, but bottom line, like, I was trying to catch knives all day on this thing, man, and you just don't know. So we got to wait till the market opens back up on Monday. But after that, we just slowly trended up, and that's what might happen here in October after we can settle down and see what happens this coming week. perhaps into November, we really start to see a rally. So again, this could be slow moving. Some alts could take off, but what I'm trying to say is give it some time, see what happens with the market, if that makes sense. Okay. With that said too, there have been also some reactions too about people saying that, well, that was it, man. The game has changed. Nobody's going to be on leverage anymore. Meme coins are done. We're all going to be fundamentals. We're all going to be focused only on Bitcoin. Let me remind you, I've been here for a long time. That COVID crash, 3 months after that, that's when Uniswap season started, okay? If you don't know Uniswap, if you weren't here back in 2020, that's when really the first on-chain trading became, okay? DeFi, on-chain trading, Uniswap opened the doors, man. People were downloading MetaMask like crazy. And, you know, back then, only people who knew about blockchain developers could actually launch coins. There were still a ton of shady devs launching coins that we were aping in. But, dude, it was crazy. Uniswap season was crazy. And then DeFi farm season was crazy too. That's when people were farming kimchi in food farms, basically DeFi protocol food farms that were given like 10 million APY or whatever, man. It just 10 million%. It was wild. You saw massive Ponzi schemes come out with DeFi, okay? And so it was wild. And so that was just a few months after the COVID crash. Again, I'm just telling you guys, people who are saying that meme coins are dead, we're only going to do like fundamentally revenue generating protocols are going to be the only focus. So make sure that you sell everything. Man, I'm telling you, like, people gamble, humans are greedy, and that's not going to change. Okay. So just understand that I don't foresee things dying. If this is not the bottom, like I said, I mean, if this is the bottom, if this isn't the start of a bear market, I do think that on-chain starts to rally again over time. A lot of people are also saying that, well, man, that was it. Nobody's touching leverage again. Dude, they're totally touching leverage. People gamble. People do not change. Human emotion, greed, it is here to stay forever, a part of reality. And with that said, people will continue to gamble. People will continue to use leverage. Open interest will skyrocket again if this is the bottom, and over the next 3 to 6 months, we continue to go up. Open interest is going to be crazy before we have the next big crash. Okay, so I'm saying that people are going to lever up again. People are going to buy meme coins again. They did back in 2020. It's not going to change. Okay, so if we want to go ahead and look also too at the most recent crash in crypto as well too. I say most recent crash because that was back from, January down to April. Again, you had a lot of time after and that was slow moving, right? This was a lot faster, but you just had a lot of time. That was a long-term downtrend over the course of weeks and went sideways for the course of a month or two. I don't foresee that happening because, again, I think a lot of people will tell you that if you look at this chart, what do you see? You see that the consolidation, the way most bull markets move, consolidation is less with time, okay? Especially with this, right? You see, if you guys can see this, consolidation from February 24 to October 24 took a long time. That was almost a whole year that we consolidated and chopped and ranged sideways before the market moved up heavy. And then the next consolidation was from November 24 to February of 25. That was 3 or 4 months shorter. And then we saw consolidations here for only 2 months. And then we ran up again. And then basically now we basically were up there for a few weeks. So what I'm trying to say is, right, for a few days, excuse me, but this consolidation is less and less as bull market goes up. So what you tend to see is you see some volatility like this, you'll see some consolidation, and then the market either nuke or push up, whatever, it gets less. That's happening. We see that. And so I think it's safe to say too that there's not a lot of time left in this market as well. So I don't think, Q4, Q1, I've been saying personally for me, I said by the end of Q1, I said on many videos, by the end of Q1, by April of next year, you're going to see the top of the market. Okay, you just are. And so I think it's going to be smart that if you get in any positions, this is how you play this. If you get in any positions between now and wherever the bottom's at, okay, if this is not bottomed out and the market bottoms out in the next week or two or by November, whether it's at 100K Bitcoin or 107 Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. If you get in position, whether it's Bitcoin or altcoins, and the market rallies, you need to take profits as things go, okay? If you're up 2, 3, 4, 5x, you need to take out your initials at least, okay? Pay yourself, because the market is not going to continue to move up like this very much longer, okay? 3 months, 6 months, perhaps, always happens. Huge wipeout like this is probably going to lead to an altcoin altcoin season. Man, it's late, dude. It's late, guys. I had a long week. But with that said, altcoin season, take profits, okay? So some questions. So I think the only other thing I want to look at is ETH. Again, ETH is the same thing. Broke down, man. Bounced right at where it should bounce at, around 3,500. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful bounce there. That's on the weekly chart. I want to see it hold above 3,500 on the daily to weekly. Okay, if it can do that, then it's probably going to be looking good right now. Bitcoin dominance going sideways. A lot of times you see people get back into Bitcoin. I don't really have much to talk about other than, I actually drew this the other day. I said expect Bitcoin dominance to move up, then pull back a little bit, and then shoot up. So maybe we see that right now. And then Bitcoin dominance will top out, and then we'll have an altcoin season, which is kind of cool. I just kept this on here. So I said that dominance was going to break up until early November, and then we're going to have an alt rally November, December. I don't know. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Any questions? Do you see buying opportunity in Solana over the next 7 days? Solana. Just ignore this. This was a Solana. This was a uptrend, and it broke the uptrend. So let's just get rid of that. Let's go in the weekly chart. Always go up and then move back down. Looking good right here. Right. Well, where is it currently at? Yeah, I mean, 175. Whew. Well, the most recent, right? You want to see it hold above 150, 160. Jeez, it's not straight. 150 to 160. Hold above it. My trend line's stuck right now. Want to see it hold above it? It will. So this is basically not to meme it, right? Because trend lines are memes, guys. Don't trade trend lines ever. Trend lines are meant to be broken, but it's holding the trend line, right? This is the weekly chart too. So it looks good, but I like horizontals better. As long as it holds above 150, 160, I think you're golden. And so, you know, with that said, 236 down to 175, man, that's massive. Guys, it's a massive drop. In 1 week, it's down, you know, it hit down as low as 27% in a couple of days. That's crazy. That's a huge drop. Yeah, so I think, you know, and basically where I'm saying that a safe bottom is at is 32%. So basically right now you're at 26, 27%. It could go as low as 32% total from the week. So that's not a large percentage drop from where it's at now, right? Maybe another 10% drop in price. I don't foresee, if this is the bottom, I don't see, unless Bitcoin nukes to 100K and stock market nukes, I don't foresee Solana breaking probably below 150-ish. But again, that's a great opportunity because everything's a great opportunity right now. If you were to ask me on the majors especially, Solana, Ethereum, if you go to CoinGecko, right, and you look at the majors, XRP, BNB has been red hot. CZ's making sure of it. I don't care about Tron. I just don't. I don't care too much about Cardano, but it's got a huge following, so it could do well too. But the majors right now, Solana, BNB, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperliquid especially. Hyperliquid has been strong. Maybe AVIX, SWE. Okay, some of these. Litecoin has been strong, actually. We know Zcash has been strong. Mantle has been quite a bit strong. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last 24 hours. Yeah, Zcash, Story, VeChain. Some of these are up high. Chain Opera AI is up. Guys, so I think for a lot of these coins, especially if they're in the majors, it's a great buying opportunity whenever you see a 30% like that. If you got limit bids on them yesterday, which most people didn't, then that's definitely a great buy. But I think in general, yes, these are great buying opportunities right now. I just think you need to wait. And I just think that you need to understand, too, that if Bitcoin does pull back, if the stock market does pull back, that Bitcoin can pull back around 10%. That means that some of these altcoins can pull back more than that. They're going to pull back. They're high beta. They're 20, 30%, right? Doesn't mean they'll stay there very long. But I'm just saying in general, I did just say Solana, I don't think it's going to pull back more than 10%. Well, it depends on what the stock market does. So everything is really dependent on what Trump says the stock market does and what Bitcoin does, okay? If Bitcoin holds, it's likely that altcoins are going to hold with it. So just understand that. So Chainlink, actually, great. I like Chainlink. I think, you know, we could look back at this here in 2 months and be like, why did I not buy? And so I think the biggest thing here is that if you do have capital, that you think about making a plan right now. You think about dollar cost averaging in. You think about just understanding that the worst is likely over, right? I mean, Chainlink went from $23 down to $15. And it was the same as Solana, right? A lot of these, that's 37%. It's still down, right? 29% from where it was this week. That's huge. And from just a few weeks ago, it's down 40%. So these are definitely really strong buying opportunities, especially if they hold their structures, right? If they're holding these structures overall on the weekly chart, and especially, like I said, if Bitcoin continues to hold support at 100, if it breaks 107, 108, whatever, as long as it, you know, sustains 100, stays above that 50 EMA on the weekly, if that happens, then again, a lot of these are going to be at great buying opportunities, whether it's now or whether it's if Bitcoin drops further. So I'm just saying right now, you can dip your toes into altcoins. I'm kind of waiting myself. I think Chainlink holding above, you know, what is this? $15 is good. And so, yes. Do I think that crypto markets pick up on Monday or wait until Tuesday? I think typically we call it turnaround Tuesday for a reason. And a lot of times you see around Tuesday things turn around, especially if things are bloody on Monday. But again, you guys have to understand back in February, right? What did Trump say? Trump started back in January, February, and we did the tariffs, and price moved down pretty significantly for a few days, right? I think maybe it was around this time, and dipped for around 4 or 5 days straight. We had a strong bounce, dipped further, bounce again, and dipped further, and it took over 2 months to play out. And so I really want to see if he can backtrack what he says. I don't necessarily think that with the Fed pivoting, right? I think with a lot of, you know, good catalysts that are coming around with the Fed, with you know, inflation, with rate cuts, all that, I think that that's a good thing. But really, we want to see what Trump says about the tariffs, okay? And see if he can backtrack some of that stuff, because it took a while to play out. And so I am just waiting. I'm waiting. I bought a little bit of spot, but overall, I want to wait to see what he says, okay? So Monday, Tuesday, we have no idea what he's going to say, when he's going to say it, but I just think that you just need to have patience, okay? I don't think we're going to have a V, like I said, a V rally. A V rally is where basically, you know, you have and it just quickly takes off again and just leaves you. I mean, again, if you have enough capital where you feel comfortable and you didn't lose a lot over this crash over the last few days, then I think you can dollar cost average in, okay, just right now right here. But I think as far as leverage plays go, I think going heavy on stuff right now until we can really see how the stock market opens on Monday, I think you just got to hold put. But good questions overall. But Chainlink, yes, Solana, a lot of these. Bonk guy, man. You know, he's in Bongo. I mean, I've helped out with Bongo and all that. And I'm in a lot of these coins that he's been in. And, man, he lost a lot. And, you know, just saying, just to be smart, don't over leverage. If you like coins, buy more spot in them. Or if you do leverage, of course, now it's definitely safer than what it was, right? OI is reset. And so, yeah, I think now more than ever, it's like you buy the blood, you long the dip, that kind of thing. You know, it's a better opportunity now than what it was just even 48 hours ago. As far as that goes, again, I don't want to say too much more. This is let me see here, the Bitcoin history chart. We're in Q4, we're now in red right now. But again, we just started, right? We had a green September, which isn't always usual. The last 2 years, we had a green September when we followed up with 28% and 10%. Okay. And so historically too, when we had a green, we've never had a green September that followed with a red October. So that should be encouraging for you guys, right? You look right here, September, 3 green years in a row in September, back in 2016, 2015, green, followed with 33, 14%, 28%, 10%. October, hoping for green, man. This would be, we've never seen this before to have. And so again, Bitcoin only pulled back around 10, 15%. Okay. And so this is with Bitcoin returns. It's not altcoins, by the way. And so I do think that it's showing okay strength when it comes to holding this 108, 109, 110 level. But again, a lot of people are waiting to see what happens. Okay, why October month is Dusttober. Dusttober, Rectober, Zerotober. It's definitely not good right now. Any other questions? I'm just going to hold my 50% bags, hope it goes back up. Yeah, man, like, this is what I have to say. Like, I'm down on some holds on chain. And so I'm not going to sell those quite yet. I don't think. I'm going to look and see how things go. But I would hate to be down 50% on a coin and then sell it and then it move back up to break even or even up, you know, where I'm down, you know, only 25%. And so for me, it's really hard to sell after a flash crash like this because, again, as I've told you, I'm going to wait and see what Bitcoin does. But if it can continue to hold up here at this 108 level, 107 level, if stock markets do okay, again, things could open up. Things could open up red this week, Monday and Tuesday. And your coin that's down 50% could be down 75%. So it's hard to say. You don't know. But, I mean, if you don't believe in that coin, though, I guess I could say this. If you don't believe in that, if it's just kind of some coin that you bought, I don't know, maybe you could cut it. I mean, again, I do think short-term, stronger fundamental plays will probably be the play right now. I think that you're going to see a lot of the majors do better. And I think that people are going to be skeptical of some of this on-chain stuff. I think on-chain is going to go crazy again in the next few months. And the next few weeks maybe even too. You're going to have a massive altcoin rally depending if Bitcoin can hold. But I think fundamentally you have to be patient with those on-chain bags, especially if they're meme coins, okay? So altcoin again, alt season again. Typically what I showed you with Bitcoin dominance here, and this is what I drew the other day, and basically what you want to end up seeing is for Bitcoin dominance to basically top out. And that doesn't look like it bounced. So with Bitcoin dominance bouncing like this, potential to see it continue to move on up, but and even sweep up here around 66%. But when alt season happens, you're going to see that dominance starts to kind of pull back a little bit. You can look at ETH BTC too as well. But watch your Bitcoin charts, okay? Not just ETH BTC, but watch how certain charts do against Bitcoin. And this is not just ETH. This is Dogecoin. This is Solana. This is Chainlink. This is everything. Go to the chart against Bitcoin, see its relative strength against Bitcoin. And again, those that are holding well, doing well, especially here in the coming week or two, if we can see the market bounce and rally and bottom, those are going to be the ones also that you want to buy and be into, okay? So just continue to watch those. You'll see a lot of those start to turn green on the intraday and then on the daily and then the weekly. You'll start to see those turn green, a lot of the Bitcoin charts against alts. So continue to watch that. Again, a lot of people will watch the alts chart, like alts against Bitcoin. Man, like, I don't look at that because there are so many altcoins now that I don't like to look at those big altcoin against Bitcoin charts. Okay, I can pull it up here. I think, what is it, alt Bitcoin? I don't even know, dude. Like, is this it? I don't even know. I don't even think that's it. But you know what? All I have to say is this, is that go to individual charts, type those in TradingView, and look and see how they're holding up against Bitcoin. I don't trust the alt Bitcoin chart, basically charting alts, the whole stack of alts against Bitcoin, because again, you got to understand that there's certain alts are going to be stronger than other alts, like Zcash right now, certain privacy coins right now. Litecoin was really strong. And then maybe like some of the majors like ETH or Solana or Chainlink outperform Tron and some of the other majors, right? So again, that's how I look at it as well. I hate bundling all the altcoins into one package and saying, look, this is what altcoins are doing. It's Bitcoin. I think it's stupid. It's a waste of time, because there's always going to be outliers. Your job is to find the coins that are strongest against Bitcoin and stronger against other coins, be in those and buy those, okay? That's your job. Your job's not to look at the whole big picture of altcoins. I mean, whatever, it's helpful, but I think looking at charts individually and taking that time is going to be a better process overall when it comes to finding what's relatively strong. Okay, so I'm excited about Q4. I'm really thinking that the worst is over, even though we could see more of a pullback. Again, another 5-10% pullback in some coins, maybe a little bit more, but I think the worst is over. Do I think you need to quit right now? No, I don't think you need to quit. I think that this is a massive opportunity, potentially. And if you took profits and cashed out a week ago, that's totally different than having a flash crash, being down 50%, losing 50% of your portfolio. And, all I have to say is back in the COVID crash, back in the tariffs, back in February, March, April, after that, both times we had massive rallies in the market. Whether the narrative was DeFi, food coins, Uniswap back in 2020, whether it was whatever this past year, I can't even remember, man. Just a few months ago, we've had so many narratives over the past few months, but we've also saw massive rallies in the market. So I just don't think you need to give up quite yet. If you're down, I think that you just need to stay put, see if Bitcoin can hold 108, 107, and if it can hold that. Definitely hold 100K, and if it holds 100K, then I think that we're good to go for a rally. That might take some time to play out, so be patient. You need to wait a few days here, potentially a few weeks to see that play out, and if you're patient, I think that it can pay off. But, the time to buy stuff is typically when you don't want to buy, when things are hard, and again, I bought Coinbase stock back when it was $40-50, right? And dude, that was just so hard to buy. Everybody was crapping on it. Jim Cramer was crapping on it. And this was, back in these times right here. And, buying this and, this giant range here, okay? And just, it took forever, right? This was from like 2022 to 2023. It was like over a year. And this is not going to take a year, guys, right? I mean, this current range that we're in, we're either going to bottom out, soon. That was either the bottom. We're going to bottom out soon. We're not going to range for a year. It could take time. But I'm just saying that, dude, like, you buy when it's boring, when you don't want to buy after a pullback. That's when you buy. That's when you make the most money. And so, obviously, right, we all know that it's not rocket science, right? Markets aren't rocket science, but what I'm trying to say is that this has given a lot of people a lot of good opportunities. Those who still have some capital, those who were in spot, those who are able to buy, I think that there are some big opportunities ahead, but we don't quite know until we see what this week holds on Monday, okay? So I'll probably make another video and record it, make it more entertaining, talk about why it happened, what I think, just kind of compressing this down into a recorded video because we've been talking for a long time here. I don't even know how long, a long time. But that's really all I want to say today is really wanted to encourage you guys to say, look, wait until Monday. Wait until how things close tomorrow on the weekly close and open on crypto and stock, the futures open tomorrow. Wait until that. Wait until see what Trump says next couple days. And I think with that said, a lot of people are even saying, hey, we could go back up to 114, 117, and then that fake everybody out, and then we crashed 100. I don't know. Maybe we do. But I think if Trump in any ways backtracks what he says, it's gonna rally hard. The market is going to rally hard. And, I want to be a little bit cautious here, but also, you want to watch because, I mean, obviously, guys, like Bitcoin crashed back into the range here. I mean, it crashed back into this support range it's been holding for so long, and right now it's a higher low. So I think that you need to pay attention. Pay attention right here. Could it take some time to play out? Yes. But, even though I think it could take time, it could also, if he backtracks, could take off. So just be patient. Turn on your notifications, see what Trump says, and I think you guys can do well overall. So, man, I'm just rambling a lot. I've been sick a lot the past few months, just stomach stuff, just whatever. Doesn't matter. And that's where I've been, and I had some procedures done this week, and just taking it day by day, trying to watch my health, trying to stay, be with family, and just hang out. And I was in my car yesterday, dude, when this happened, and it was wild. I was trying to buy the dip on my mobile phone, and dude, it was crazy. My son was in the car. He's like, "Dad, what are you doing? Why are you pulling over in the parking lot?" And I'm like, "Guy, I gotta get this. I gotta buy this. Just wait, Dad's working, But no, I was like, the market dumped. I gotta buy this. And so I was trying to buy, trying to tweet, trying to do everything on my phone, dude. It was crazy. So lost some money. I'm down significantly on some coins. But, a lot of blessings. Like I said, I haven't been too healthy, but I'm alive. And, just trying to stay positive. And, again, you guys stay positive. And, again, if you weren't fully wiped out, even if you were, you can recover from it. And I don't know what to say. I don't want to sit here and preach to you guys or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. All right. So with that said, you guys, I will make another video. Watch Bitcoin. We want to watch and see if 107, 108 can hold this weekend for the month, for the weekly close. If not, we really want to see it 100K. Definitely 100K. We want to see 99, 100K hold, okay? And we'll see what Trump says. We'll see how the markets open up. Could open up a little bit red on Monday. If that happens, don't be surprised if the market pulls back more. If it does, pull back a little bit more. Keep your eye on it. Maybe put some limit bids down for some things at some support levels, macro support levels that you see. And then from there, you can always cut those. But then we'll take it day by day, okay? So I'll make another video. And then by maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be making another video. And maybe we've bottomed out. And maybe we'll see things be a little bit greener by then, okay? All right, guys. With that said, you guys trade safe, and